It's Monday, the 21st of October 2024, and we're coming to you from our Eros Park studios in Windhoek. Many thanks for joining me for the next 20 odd minutes as I bring to the fore the narratives shaping the domestic, continental, and international fronts. Here on Primetime News, it's always a pleasure having you. I'm Michael Madimba. The road to the 2024 national elections headlines tonight's bulletin. President Nangolo Mbumba reiterated that SWAPO Party's manifesto does not contain empty or pie-in-the-sky promises. Let's now get more context from our lead report.
As a party, we are focused on bread and butter issues which affect the daily lives of our people. Therefore, we are confident that in Comrade Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, we have the leadership that is capable of fulfilling the second struggle for economic emancipation of all Namibians. This is the plan which will develop our natural resources for the maximum benefit of all Namibians across the 14 regions of our country. It is a plan that will encourage more processing on Namibia's raw materials here in the Republic of Namibia, thereby increasing the participation of Namibians in the country's economy.
Staying atop all things elections, a delegation of representatives from 18 political parties departed for Johannesburg, South Africa on Sunday to observe the design, layout, production, printing, packaging, as well as delivery of ballot papers for the national elections slated for the 27th of November, that is next month. More from this insert.
Spokesperson for the Electoral Commission of Namibia, ACN, David Siluka, told the media that the group includes authorized representatives from political parties and staff from the Electoral Commission. The Commission has selected the South African-based company Renform CC to print the ballot papers for the 2024 presidential and National Assembly elections. The electoral body has awarded Renform CC a contract worth $6.25 million Namibian dollars to supply the ballot papers. The Commission has defended its choice, claiming the company has a solid track record of printing ballot papers for over 70 elections in Africa in the past 20 years. According to the final voter register, 1,449,569 Namibians have registered to vote in the upcoming general election. The ACN announced last week that 21 political parties will be contesting the elections with 15 presidential candidates. Siluka stated that the delegation is expected to return home on 29 October. Amongst the parties that sent representatives were the ruling SWAPO Party, Independent Patriots for Change, Landless People's Movement, Namibian Economic Freedom Fighters NEFF, National Unity Democratic Organization NUDO, and SWANU of Namibia.
Staying atop the campaign trail, the Popular Democratic Movement Party, or PDM President Mark Henry Venani says he is ready to lead Namibia into an era that is marked by egalitarian principles and devoid of corruption and economic inequality. Let's now get more context from this report.
Speaking at the PDM Star Rally here on Saturday, Venani said the party envisions bringing about a Namibia where each individual feels a sense of belonging and confidence in knowing that their government is working for them. He stressed they are faced with a very alarming reality, which is that under SWAPO's administration, corruption has become the norm. Venani urged party members and supporters to stand with his party and give it a chance. Venani said PDM will lead a march in Windhoek on Tuesday following the decision by the Electoral Commission of Namibia to award a $60 million tender to South African company Renform for designing and printing ballot papers for the upcoming elections. He said Renform is embroiled in a corruption scandal involving millions of rands and called on Namibians to join the march in standing up against the brazen attempt to undermine democratic process. Venani said his party instructed its legal team to issue a formal letter to the Electoral Commission of Namibia demanding that the tender be set aside immediately.
On to take advancements in the banking sector. Namibia Post Limited, or NamPost, officially launched its My NamPost banking app and internet banking platforms, providing customers with convenient real-time access to financial services from anywhere.
We hope that when we actually have a digitally literate nation, people actually have the confidence to go online and transact. Without digital literacy, this innovative services risk becoming underutilized, as we see in many parts of the country. Our mobile operators put up a 4G tower and they don't actually recoup any benefits or profits from it because majority of the community there do not want to buy smartphones. They want to keep safe with their Tamagotchis. So we must ensure that we need to deepen the dismantling of the digital divide that already exists, whether it's between urban to rural settings, women and men, those of us who are young and old. To prevent this, we must ensure that every citizen has the necessary skills to fully benefit from these advancements. I urge NAMPOS and all commercial entities in Namibia to join our efforts as a Ministry of ICT, where we actually offer digital literacy skills training, basic computer training, cyber security, safety training, because as more people go online, they will encounter risks, and we want to prepare them to actually be ready for those risks.
Stay tuned for your talk roundup with the business segment afterwards. Welcome to the Primetime Biz segment, your dependable source for all updates business related. Now, our team comprising producer Josephina Simeon and journalist Eba Kandovato recently toured various investment projects currently in the works in the Eronga region under the auspices of the Namibia Investment Promotion Board, or NIPDB. We now bring you an insert from Clean Energy Solutions, which specializes in clean and renewable energy. The much anticipated arrival of a multi-million-dollar electrolyzer in December will see the official commencement of the production of green hydrogen by February next year. Let's now get to see what transpired.
Clean Energy Solutions Namibia is a groundbreaking partnership between Old Hava Enlis Group and CMB Tech focused on green hydrogen production. The company aims to reduce carbon emissions and contribute to the global efforts to combat climate change, aligning with Namibia's green hydrogen goals. The $500 million Namibia pilot project in Walvis Bay includes hydrogen production, a public refueling station, and a hydrogen academy for training local professionals. According to the Old Hava Enlis Clean Energy Development Committee member A.K. Kraft, the plant, although not producing hydrogen locally yet, has imported hydrogen that is used to test their equipment, the compressor, and the plant's storage capacity. The refueling station, which began operation in 2023, is Africa's first hydrogen refueling hub designed to decarbonize port logistics in partnership with Namport.
In a nutshell, to complete our phase 1 plant and really start with local hydrogen production here in Namibia, our plant is 95% complete. The one part that we're still waiting for is called electrolyzer. It's basically the equipment which is at the heart of the operation and which splits the water into hydrogen and oxygen. Now, this electrolyzer we already ordered 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago, but lead times are incredibly long. Now, we're expecting that equipment, which comes from Europe but is an American supplier, to arrive here towards the end of the year. So I think it is shipping at the end of October, beginning November. So we'll have it here in December, but then everybody goes on leave, etc. So we think that we can complete the commissioning then early in the new year, so beginning 2025. And within the first quarter of 2025, then we will actually start with local production of hydrogen here in Namibia.
Established in 2021, the project's flagship facility includes a 10-hectare solar park with over 7,000 solar panels. Kraft also announced plans to develop 2,000 hectares of land in Arandis for 1 gigawatt of solar energy generation and 500 megawatts of hydrogen production. This, he stressed, is because of weather challenges experienced in Walvis Bay.
Walvis Bay got a very aggressive environment. Everything that's outside you can see is rusting, etc. And so everything we already ordered for here is with the maximum of corrosion protection. You see a lot of stuff is containerized, so it's really to try and make it as neat as possible. Also for the solar side, for renewable energy, obviously when there are sandstorms you will have less solar irradiation. We have fogs here. You can also see on the surface of the panel you have deposits. We still have a project with UNAM to try and figure out how much actually does the performance decrease with the deposits on the panels, etc. So these are things we are learning.
150 locals were involved during the construction phase, and 8 Namibians are directly employed at Cleanergy Solutions.
We have the matrix of the types of expertise that we need. It's engineering. It's on all levels really. Also with the ammonia comes the ammonia chemical type of engineering. Everything hydrogen specific skills that we don't have in this country, and we believe that we can over time develop these skills in the country. On the one hand, with a few experts that we are bringing into the country, like we did for the phase 1 plant, but under that we're developing in a local Namibian team, and also our academy here is really part of the reason of why we put it there, because we want to develop and attract these skills and make our contribution to make this a reality really.
The facility, according to the Namibia Investment Promotion Board, is the first hydrogen production and refueling station in Africa with hydrogen used for dual fuel technology in trucks.
Stand by for your Econ Roundup with Sport Planet on the other side. Welcome to Sport Planet, the segment dedicated to all things sport in action. A Shaka Chula Chula Football Club retained the Dr. Hage Geingob Cup with a 2-0 victory over Dave Marine Namibia Premiership champions African Stars at the Independence Stadium on Saturday. In front of over 8,000 spectators, a Shaka Chula Chula scored in the first half and again in the second half through Marcelino George and Eliakim Jackson. Now, the two teams put on an impressive display and kept the supporters entertained with exciting football on a much improved surface at the Independence Stadium. African Stars striker Willie Stefanus had a superb start to the match with impressive passes in the opening minutes of the first half, but his mobility was later restricted by the Chula Chula defense, who kept him at bay throughout both halves. The first half ended 1-0 in favor of Eshoke Chula Chula. The second half saw Chula Chula scoring an early goal in the opening 2 minutes as they caught the African Stars defense flat-footed to add to the tally. With a goal down, African Stars upped the tempo of the game, leading to them creating several scoring chances, including a missed penalty by Stefanus. With African Stars' failure to find the back of the net, The competition's defending champions, Ishaka Chula Chula, managed to hold on to the match to claim the trophy for the second time and pocketed 300,000 Namibian dollars in prize money as well as medals. On to the English Premier League. Arne Slot said Liverpool rose to the challenge posed by a step up in opposition after beating Chelsea 2-1 to move back to the top of the Premier League on Sunday.
It was an equal game, in my opinion, where we're faces in a game where we had to work really hard not to concede. But it's very pleasing to see that that's also what we did. I think we all saw the great block tackles, Dominic and Curtis had. Curtis first half, Dominic second half. And those moments are just as crucial as the goals we've scored. So this is in my opinion, our biggest test to play Champions League and Premier League, the hardest games, 3 days in a row. That's what City did last season. That's what Arsenal did. Both of these clubs did for 2 years in a row now. And you saw 2 years ago how difficult that was for us. And you saw last season how difficult it was for United and Newcastle to be involved in Champions League and Premier League. So that is, for me, the test we have to go through.
Stand by for your sports roundup. On that football note, this is where we dock for this evening. Primetime News will be back tomorrow, so make sure to make another date then. Before I make an exit, I will remind you to follow the on-screen prompts to stay abreast with happenings on the local, continental and international fronts. Also feel free to interact with us in the comment section. Your views and inputs are always welcome. From myself, Michael Medimba, and the entire Primetime News crew, it's good night.